So, do you know what is my WhatsApp status? It says, nature is my religion. I recently changed this, and I think the organizers invited me to speak today after seeing that. So that's how it says. I'm Archana. People call me a green entrepreneur, and that's why I came in a green colored dress too today. So, okay, Mocha is apart. So I'm an entrepreneur who believes in creating a community that eats healthy and lives a happier life. All of you love to live a happy life, right? So that's what I do. And what I realize is this is possible only if we connect closer to nature. So do you remember what is this? Yeah, thanks for the answer. So as a little girl, I was always fascinated each time I saw touch me nots. I felt very curious when it touched and it closed down its leaves. So next. So every time I touched, it closed down its leaves, and I felt very curious. But nowadays, it's very hard to find. But I'm sure the curiosity inside all of us is still alive, okay? So that's what I believe. We all need to connect more closer to nature. Most of our childhood memories have stories of watching sunrise, building sand castles, smelling roses, and also feeding animals at the zoo. I'm sure you will all agree with me that you were a lot more happier, you're a lot more relaxed doing all of this than sitting here or being in your college or office, right? So as children, me and all of you, I'm sure, were playing outside. We used to be hiding behind the trees. We also got our knees dirty. But somehow today, I don't even see kids, and most of us, we are very, very disconnected. We are lost from this natural world. So that's the purpose of me standing here, trying to reconnect all of you back to nature. And what I realized is the World's Environment Day theme for this year was also the same, connecting people to nature. So I want to tell you that I also have a secret love for food. Maybe you don't realize after seeing me, but I also love food. Recently, I've discovered the whole new joy of eating food that is very fresh and homegrown, so like on my terrace. Every morning, I experience nature's magic as I water the plants, as I grow a tomato. So with every tomato that grows and every spinach I harvest, I feel more closer to nature. Have you felt this? So I see this every day on my terrace, and eating healthy food matters a lot. There's always a special feeling when you actually grow something, harvest it, and you even get to taste it. It also tastes very nice. It's not just the ones like you find in the organic shops. It even tastes better, right? So I grew it myself with love. So who doesn't enjoy the fruit of one's labor? So my dream, I would like to emphasize again, is to create a community that eats healthy and lives a happier life. Talking about my life, I studied engineering. That's the pause for. So I studied engineering, but today, both me and my husband do farming. We have zero practical knowledge about farming or agriculture, but we're a lot more happier. So I'm so happy I made 3 important decisions in my life. Okay, before that, the whole presentation of mine is going to revolve around nature is cheaper than therapy, okay? So I would like to talk about the 3 important decisions of my life. So if not for these 3, I would be one of those intellectual fools, okay? Intellectual fools meaning those who believe that nature exists or is very beautiful only in Discovery Channel or honeymoon destinations. So I'm so happy I did 3 of them in my life, and all of them have changed my life and brought me more closer. So what are those 3? 1 is restoring ponds. Number 2, urban farming. And 3 is nature-based learning. I would like to take you one by one, okay? So all of this is why I tell you, you all should get out and be closer to nature. So this is number 1. I have a story behind it. In 2012, I moved from Chennai to Virudhunagar. Virudhunagar is actually a tier 3 city down south, and it is the second driest place in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so I haven't experienced water scarcity until then. We used to get proper drinking water once in 20 days. Imagine, and we had to store and use it wisely. In such a scenario, on one Sunday evening, I was just walking down the road with my husband, and he told me that this stretch of land used to be a pond. I did not understand, used to be a pond. So he told me that this is the place where his parents as children used to play and swim. But today, he hasn't seen water at all in his life. Imagine, for almost 2 decades, there has not been water in this, and it used to be a pond. I was shocked. I kept asking him why. So the answer that he told me was the pond was not maintained well. Then the next question, can we do something about it? And my husband said yes, we can restore it, but it takes a lot of effort. So with no further doubt, we decided to act. I quickly raised some funds online through a crowdfunding campaign. I would like to thank my friends and well-wishers who believed in me, and then that gave us the confidence. We then spoke to the local community. We spoke to the people and started work in about 2 weeks. Look at this, there are so many thorns, it's all dumped with waste. Okay? So we first removed the thorns. These are actually called Sema Karvelum or Juliflora, which is a big threat to the environment. So we removed them, cleared the waste, desilted the soil, and then also made sure the inlets were all cleared with waste. So that was the work we did. We were really not sure what the end result is going to be. But I really wanted this place to at least look like a pond. So that's the only thing we had. So this is how we started clearing the entire stretch, about almost 3 acres of land. So finally, after all our work, this is how it looked, okay? So after about 2 months, the people, we all forgot about it. It was monsoon time. Late one night, I got a call from an old man, a total stranger. He was like very excited and shouting with joy that the pond was overflowing with water. And he hasn't seen this in the last 20 years. Okay? That made our day, okay? So I realized nature's gifts are hard to value. We actually cared for this pond and worked on it for only 7 days. 7 days. But nature was very, very generous. It poured rains and it gave water for 1,000 families around it, and not for 1 day, but for 6 months. And this changed the people also. They stopped throwing waste there. So in 3 months' time, the whole pond was restored to actually serve its purpose. This is how the pond looked after the rains, and it was a pleasant sight. So it gave us a lot of confidence, and we became nature lovers. Now I connect it to my WhatsApp status. Nature is my religion. Okay? So that's the first story about. Second, this was on a large scale. Secondly, personally, what changed me was urban farming. Before I started growing vegetables on my terrace, I really thought ladies' fingers grow on trees, and carrot can be grown only in Ooty or Kodaikanal. But after growing, I realized vegetable is a plant. It hardly gives 30 vegetables per plant. So, and carrots, in the same place, Virudhunagar, which is a dry place, we grew carrots at home. So that totally changed my perspective. So I became more connected. I actually scored a centum in biology during 12th standard. I don't think it deserves a clap. So I scored a centum in biology, but I learned a lot about plants and food through urban farming. Okay? So we have converted our small little terrace into a kitchen garden, and that is what I call my urban farm. We grow about 12 varieties of spinach, a lot of vegetables like tomato, brinjal, lady's finger, radish, and even a lot of herbs. So food is medicine. All of this have gone into our diet. So the change starts from there. In the last 2 years, my family has not bought spinach from the shop. A few vegetables too, but spinach to be particular. We haven't bought it from the shop. And like any other family, the food menu does not get decided the previous night. The morning we go to the terrace, we water the plants, and depending on the harvest of the day, we decide the menu of the day. So that's how it is. So all this is bringing us closer. So you see how fresh the leaves are, and they're all truly organic. It's not like the ones, again, that you buy from organic shops, okay? We still doubt the label. We go to a shop. How many of you go to organic shops here? Like your families start buying from there? Okay. I'm sure most of you still doubt the label there. But to be really organic, I bet you should start growing it yourself. Okay. So growing things on my terrace taught me a lot of things. First, I don't waste food like I did before. I now know how much effort it takes to actually create food and bring it to my table. I don't waste food. That itself is a big, big change. I realize the importance of nature there. And secondly, like I said, the food tastes lot better. It really is true food. What we really eat today, it is not worthy to be called food. I should say they are food-like substances. You agree with me? We read so much on the papers every day. So all this awareness motivated me and husband to start organic farming. So this is the radish, okay? So that is a very, very cherishable memory. The first time I grew a radish, I wondered how a tiny little seed, it slowly germinated, it shoot leaves, and one fine day, after 45 days, it came popping out of the soil saying, I'm ready. So that's how it is. So small joys slowly culminated, and me and my husband took to farming. So this is our farmland. And all this was possible without practically any knowledge in agriculture. So every day is an adventure. We keep learning about food. So all this is a harvest from my garden. So you look at how fresh they are. Even if it has small holes or any insect in it, still we cut that part and eat the rest. We don't just throw away. So, my dear friends, what I'm trying to tell you is, food has to be locally grown and locally consumed. So by doing that, we actually reduce the food miles. So please go local, okay? So next time you want to eat a Washington apple, imagine the distances that traveled all the way from Washington, storing and coming to your place. So that's where all the problems start. So do you all remember the Varda cyclone? Has it been more than a year? No, right? So during the Varda cyclone, almost 100,000 trees were fallen down. They couldn't stand straight, they were uprooted. But did you also notice that there were a lot more other trees that survived the winds? How? They were all native trees. They were all native to our soil, and they were very adaptable. So if you really, really care for your environment, when you give saplings or when you do some plantation, plant a lot of native trees. So over the last 4 years, myself and friends, we have planted over 800 native trees. And we did not stop with that, we keep nurturing them. So that's the problem. We plant a lot of saplings and we forget it. So plant trees and make sure they become trees. Personally, I can't imagine a life without Wi-Fi or internet. Can you all do it? So this is the message that I'm trying to say. There is no Wi-Fi in the forest, but I'm sure we will all find a stronger connection there. So that's the end of the second story. First, we saw about how a pond could be restored. Second, about growing food on our own terrace. And third, all this experience, I see that adults need to be unlearned. Unlearning is difficult, but learning is quite easy. So that's what we really understood, that nature-based learning has to be part of our growing phase. And today's children need to be taught the value of nature. They really are lost. So in order to bring them back, we made sure we brought in a new curriculum, and I'm working on it. So this is a school garden that we created. So what I really do is, I work with schools. We bring the children outside their classroom and let them spend time in a natural environment. They are in a very natural environment. They get their hands dirty. They dig the soil. They even plant a school garden. They actually catch butterflies. They walk on the grass. And during all this process, they learn a lot more important lessons in life. They learn patience. Okay? So they learn a lot more important things in life, and they also understand sustainability. They become more environment conscious. So all this can happen if we can, it's part of our learning phase. So what me as an entrepreneur trying to do is, we go to schools and we engage children to become more eco-friendly. So they even convert their waste into wealth. They do it through composting, and then they use the same compost for the garden. This has resulted in two things. One, the kid now appreciates nature and starts observing the little things. So even a caterpillar goes, the child connects it to becoming a butterfly. So every little thing that the child sees, they start appreciating. And second is the most important. So kids, you see they're all growing spinach. So when kids learn to grow their own food, they start making healthy food choices. So the child comes to the mother and tells me, I grew this palak, come on, make it for me. Instead of we forcing it on the child. Okay? So this makes the parents happy. And me personally, that's what I'm trying to do, right? I want to build a community that eats healthy and it also lives happier. So my end goal is reached. So I'm currently working on this curriculum of nature-based learning to create healthier families and happier individuals. I think all the three have been a great, great impact in my life, and I wish all of you can also do this. So in order to succeed in life, we got to do three things. One, learn, unlearn, and relearn. But to live a very, very happy life, it's very simple. You got to do only one thing. You need to connect closer to nature. So take time off your busy schedules, forget your laptops, go out, go plant a tree, more so, go grow a vegetable. I'm sure all of you can't get out and grow our own food, but one thing is going to happen. It's definitely going to make a big difference in our relationship with food. So just grow a vegetable, taste it, celebrate nature, and together, let's all build a greener and healthier world. Thank you.